Oh, we live now, eh?
Beer me Freddy. Okay, there we
Oh,
go.
there's Freddie. Yes,
Hey,
sir.
Pops. What's happening, Josh?
Yeah, Uncle Pooh, how are you?
I am well. I am well. What's the good word?
Just trying to get this stuff straight. We live now too. I forgot.
You got a title? Where we at?
The title's not here.
Oh, I see it.
It's,
Overcoming adversity.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good
yeah,
title.
we were just talking. We were talking about I know you overcame some adversity recently.
What you talking about?
Ooh,
I'm
Oh,
talking
my
about
illness?
yeah, Uncle Pooh Bear finally finally got the satellite chip installed.
what he got the what you told? He got the shot.
Yeah, a lot of hand wringing on his Facebook page about him getting the shot.
I,
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I thought you knew, Dad. Yeah.
I had heard something to that thing like you were gonna get it.
Yeah.
I didn't
Uncle
know
That's
you
what
had
I
Pooh
was
already
telling
done
people.
that. Yeah, okay, I didn't know you had already had it.
Yeah, I only took the first one so far. I don't take the
Right,
second one till the end of the month.
right,
the,
right.
the second one is when the superpowers really kick in.
That's why I'm waiting on the superpowers. I don't got it right now.
Yeah, I got my shot, both of them.
Yeah, you've been ready.
Yes, I'm ready. I'm
Saluki
about to go
Nation.
to the gym, so I'm shaping up.
Uh-oh. Let me go grab my beer real quick.
Yeah.
How
In
you
the
doing?
meantime,
Beer
Hey,
me.
baby.
You
I'm
notice
good.
that after Uncle Pooh Bear got his shot, he stopped being Chairman Fred.
I sold out.
Some people done got to him. Now it's Bear Me Freddy. Oh man, how you
Hey,
doing, Auntie?
I'm gonna start this thing off with this
Okay.
Bud Light Platinum Blue.
Got the platinum back in the
You
house.
still going
Yeah,
back to Bud
it
Light
was
Platinum?
downstairs. I didn't know. I didn't look in that little refrigerator. I looked at this. Oh, hey, I thought it might be a fat tire down there, but it was a Platinum Blue too.
Pops, I
Yeah.
was at the store yesterday getting some new beer, and they had the big mini keg of Fat Tire. I was like, oh, I wish Pops was here. I will buy the whole mini keg about this big with a lot of Fat Tire.
You
Yeah.
mean a grandpa serving size?
Right.
He'd have sat
Pretty
there and
much.
he'd put a straw in that thing and just drank it all day.
For real. All day. That'd be going about an hour or two. Not too long.
Oh, grandpa
I,
got
I'm
Bud
a,
Light in
I,
him
I've
now.
done rated this once before, haven't I? So, but I'm gonna see if my
Rated it.
blood taste is the same.
It's gonna taste the same.
Oh, I
Oh,
I have
This
to
should
send a
it
link
should be at
out that
least a
we
six,
got.
right?
what'd you say?
Oh yeah, at least a six for you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's up there. It's a six,
Well,
no
It was
doubt about it.
requested that I send the link.
well, I'm a rate mine. Mine is
Uh-huh.
from New Holland Spirits. I think it's another New Holland one, but it's blackberry bramble.
Oh, okay.
This is
With vodka in it.
mixed with vodka. Yeah, it's 7% alcohol
Okay.
by volume. It's a nice
What's the
little
name of it
beverage.
again?
It's called Blackberry Bramble from New Holland Spirits. So I think this is made in Holland, Michigan.
Oh, blackberry
Bramble.
bramble.
Yeah.
Bramble.
And today I have Hop Skip
Hot
Yeah, jump.
skip. Hop,
by
skip, and jump.
Brickstone. Yes, sir. It's here in Illinois,
What
Bourbonnais,
y'all
not
got
too
hot,
far from
hot
the house.
skip?
You said a
It
Bourbonnais?
is yes. The brewery is Brickstone,
Oh, okay.
and it's 7.75. Went a little light today.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
it's a light day. It's a light day.
Yeah, that's kind
It's
of
I
the
put it
right
good.
ranking
thing.
a 5.
Oh, I didn't even rate
Smells
this,
yummy.
man. I'm gonna give this a.
It's a
I'm gonna give this an 8 with room to grow. I like the taste of this.
What do you
wow, an
got?
8.
Yeah, blackberry bramble from New Holland Spirits. This is good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Give it an 8.
Yeah, I think it's good.
Gave it a
That
lot of
might-
head,
that might be-
nephew.
A lot of head. Well, this New Holland has not. I've had a few things from there.
It
It's not
looked
bad. They make decent stuff.
deceptively good.
What
I
you?
don't
Let me
I
so let me
don't really honor the brewery. That's why I got low expectations.
Mm.
They
Oh,
known for making trash, man.
what brewery is that?
Brickstone.
Oh, Bridgestone.
Brickstone has had
Bridgestone
some
makes
decent. They're not super duper great, but they're all right.
Bridgestone make Rolling Rock or
They
something.
are.
Nah, but Rolling Rock is trash.
No. Did you say Rolling Rock? Pops. Don't do
Yeah.
that. Don't start today like that. Don't do that.
I was trying to think
Don't
what
do that.
Bridgestone made. That name hit me. So I thought maybe it might have been Rolling Rock or something.
Yeah, that was better
'Cause
than
we
I
used to-
expected it to be.
We used to drink a lot of Brickstone back in the day. That's why I got it, because I haven't had it in so long.
Yeah.
And just
I
trying to
know.
find
That's
something
solid.
different. Because I had I'm trying to think what else I had in the cart. I had something else. I think it was a Revolution. But I was like, let me try this Brickstone. Let me try light. So I'm thinking
On the can it say sneaky clean finish. They nailed it.
I think
nailed it.
I think they nailed it. I'm I'm stunned. I'm gonna have to get back up off Brickstone. They didn't check me right here.
my pre-tasting rating is about a 6.25. Let me see about it.
That's about in there. I give it a 6.5.
I'll give it a 6.5. Around.
Yeah, I started at 5 though. I ain't expect nothing.
It's a little bitter.
Yeah, that
And I'm surprised
out of
it's
the
only
park for
60
them.
IBUs, but not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad. I
Nah,
can take
it ain't Bud Light Platinum or nothing, but
thankfully.
What you say about Bud Light?
I say this ain't no Bud Light Platinum, but it's all right.
Oh, okay, right.
Look here.
But if it's been a Bud
I
Light
bought
Platinum,
the
it's
beer.
trying to get a 6,
Much.
right? You
Yeah.
gave it a 6. If it's been Bud Light Platinum,
Don't know
that's
about
where
it.
you start with 6 and then you go up,
Yeah, this
You go up from there.
Yeah, go from there.
So yeah, man, it was it's been an interesting a few days or whatever. Hubert and he done finally got his shot. I done seen a few things on his page, people up in arms about in regards to that. So that was entertaining. Auntie, how you feel about it?
It make you feel pretty safe though, don't it?
But I only got half, so I ain't got my superpowers yet.
What do you feel about it, Auntie? Drop your opinion. I want to know what you think.
I'm not excited about it at all. At all. But I'm going to get mine tomorrow.
Oh, you have to.
At this
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like we're damned if we do, damned if we don't. And at this point, it's like, damn it, go ahead and get it. So I have a friend right now who is positive, and she took the shot. And she was just saying, like she couldn't imagine how bad she would feel if she didn't have the shot. And it's like with getting the shot, I feel like, so I told my friends, I said, I feel like I'm just jumping in a petri dish because I've just added myself to the test study. And that's how I felt about it the entire time. But at this point, with just all that's going on, it's like, damn it, gotta go get it. That's what I was talking to my sister this morning. And I was like, I'm going to get my shot tomorrow. I was like, I'm going to get the damn shot tomorrow. She just bust out laughing. She's like, everybody else be excited. Like, I'm going to get my shot. I'm going to my shot. She said, you're the only one I know that's mad about it. I said, I'm pissed about it. I'm not happy at all. But as I say, damn if you do, damn if you don't, to be honest.
You
So
gotta be happy about it. You're gonna be comfortable a little thinking you got something.
because then I'm be looking to see if I'm growing like a eyeball out my neck, I'm gonna try to see if a toenail popping up on my elbow. I don't know what's gonna go on with this shot. I don't.
So
Let me
that's
tell
a
you
that's a
something.
good
If,
that's a
if
good place
But that's
because
like
I've been
saying
reading.
we don't even know what the weather gonna be tomorrow.
I'll
But
tell you
listen,
something. If the
I
worst thing
felt
that
good in my
happens,
body.
if the worst thing that happens to me, if I like, taking the shot is an extra toenail, I'd take that. If that was guaranteed, the only thing that'd be wrong, I'd be like, all right, I got a little extra gristle on my elbow.
Yeah, I
I'll
mean
take
the
the
Okay.
thing
nail.
is, it's just like so. The reason why I don't have my shot yet is because today I had to go get a follow up mammogram, follow up ultrasound, and so I couldn't get my shot
Ultrasound.
prior. Yeah, so I have a couple lumps in my left breast.
Not for no
So,
babies.
I thought this was you about to pull a grandma, have a
oh no,
baby,
hell no.
have a baby at
But no,
44.
because I have because they've located lumps in my breast, I have to go every 6 months to see if there's any change in it. And going and getting the shot prior to the ultrasound or the mammogram impacts your lymph nodes and can make the reading even worse than it is. Right. So that's what I'm saying. There are other side effects to the shot that a lot of people don't know about that aren't being talked about a lot. But luckily, I already knew that because had I gotten the shot last week and then went for my ultrasound today, who knows what my ultrasound would have looked like, and then what road that would have taken me down as far as hey, things look different and blah, 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 blah. So those are the types of things I'm talking about. Yeah, I may survive COVID, but what else could happen to me? You know what I'm saying? So that's just how I look at
So
it.
I've been reading. Now I'm in an interesting position because I took the shot. I still don't. I still ain't out here telling people to go take the shot. I ain't saying nothing. I'm just you got to make the decision that's right for you, right?
Mm,
But I've been reading about it, and it's talking about because like one of my concerns, and I know a lot of people concerned, is like the long term
Effect.
potential damage
yeah.
of the vaccine because it hasn't been any long term testing. So like all the stuff that I'm reading is saying that long term vaccine issues don't really arise like taking, certain medications every day for so many days or whatever.
Yeah.
It's because the payload in the vaccine is like delivered and then the body kicks out what transported it, right? And because it's delivered in one or two doses, it's done like in the small amounts and the body
Mhm.
can defeat it and run those things out. Whereas if you were on a medication, every day for the last 4 years, that's just like in your system or
It's
whatever.
built up.
And then they're saying that based on all the data that they got. Typically, a vaccine, if it reacts, the reaction happens in weeks, not in years or months. So they basically saying if there was going to be a reaction, it would have happened already. And I ain't saying that is right. I'm just saying what I've been reading. Right.
But I mean, what do they consider? Do
Where'd
they
you where'd
consider
you read it?
cancer
Where'd
to
you
be
read
a
it from?
reaction?
I read that in a couple of different sources. Like I can't tell you exactly who. I was just reading, following like the Google News links.
Mm-hmm.
And then like Google following that. If you just Google like long term, I can actually see. I bet it's still highlighted.
But that's the
I
thing,
think
though. That's
one
what I
might have been
say.
like the Mayo Clinic.
But do they consider heart disease, cancer, and all that stuff a reaction that will pop up quickly?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Well,
You see
the,
what I'm
the thing
saying?
about heart disease, I mean, I don't know enough about, but I know cancer. If you live long enough as a human, you're gonna get cancer regardless. So if
The
it
thing
speaks to
is,
the
we all
fact,
have cancers in our body anyway. It's not about everybody's going to get cancer. We all have cancerous cells in our bodies. It's
yeah.
just a matter of they come together and are
Mhm.
dangerous enough to take your life.
Oh, you saying like, could this vaccine act as the key to form like Voltron with these cancer cells? You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Could it be the magnet? You know what I'm
The
saying?
magnet that pulls
Like
the five lines
cancerous
together.
cells unite. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Yeah,
don't know. I don't
yeah. I
know.
mean,
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
didn't
So
know
see,
that.
like
Uber just
cancer
said
is
though. I
in the
didn't know. I
body.
didn't know it was supposed to be like in weeks.
What
So
about the
I take
body?
that.
Does the body make antibodies to fight off the cancer in the body?
Sure. It does.
It does.
It does.
See,
And that's why
like
you got to do all the other stuff to
So
try to fight off.
I'm interested that if you catch cancer in the early stage, you can probably build up your immune system for the antibodies to fight off that early stage cancer. Is that correct, or is that just a...
well, cancer isn't like a cancer is genetic. It's your cells doing something against itself. So it's not like a virus. You can't catch cancer. It's just your body eventually. It's either doing. I think it was either doing one or two things. Either your body is producing more than enough of one particular cell, and it causes tumors to grow and stuff like that, or it stops producing enough of a certain cell, and it causes your body to break down that way. So it's just your genes. Like at a certain point, like humans aren't just
It's
because we
not
don't.
just genes; it's also your habits.
Yeah.
So you can
Well, I mean,
feed
it's
cancer
how your
cells,
genes react to those habits. So
right?
it's just at a certain point, it's like it because humans are designed to continuously grow. No matter what, no matter how good you live, whatever, your body's going to eventually develop cancer because you're going to be either a, like I said, is going to keep producing cells at an alarming rate beyond the point at which your body can compensate for it, or you're just not going to produce enough cells to repair things or do anything, and then you just shut down from there. And I think I've said this before, but the same thing that keeps lobsters and crabs continuously growing is what causes cancer in humans. And the reason why they survive and we don't from it is because they can shed their skin, they can shed their I mean the skin, they can shed their shells and just grow a whole new shell. And that during that process, it allows their body to grow and use the excess cells or whatever. So like essentially, as long as they don't get eaten or crushed, they'll live on forever as long as they have a food supply also. So it's just interesting how nature works.
Mm-hmm. What you doing, pops?
I was going to kick up the volume a little bit, but it looked like I kicked in the
Oh,
wrong
before we get back into
thing.
serious,
I
before
pushed the button back the way it was at.
before we get back into seriousness, Grandpa, there's some house cleaning I gotta do. So last week I was told by a young lady to play this this voice message for you.
Ooh.
There's some house
Play what now?
Hey, I saw your video, sir. Right on. You are handsome and getting back in shape. Doing a fabulous job.
You heard that, Grandpa?
No, play it again though. I heard something.
All right, can y'all hear this? Can y'all hear this? I'm playing it right off my phone.
I can hear it.
Hey, I saw your video, sir. Right on. You are handsome and getting back in shape. Doing a fabulous job.
So,
Oh, how about that?
so you got a fan, Grandpa? Someone,
Huh?
a young lady told me to play that for you. Told me to play that for you, Grandpa. Yeah, Grandpa done got himself a.
And if one of my girlfriends is watching right now, I'm quite sure my phone is gonna blow up soon. Like, who's sending my boo messages? Pops, you got a lot of admirers out there that you don't know about.
I'm just telling you, Grandpa.
I
You
tell
are
all of them, I say, y'all better watch out.
Y'all done lighten up my day.
So then they come hunt on me.
I just know it was, but y'all done put a little life in my day, you know.
I'm just telling you, Grandpa, you might be one of the few people on earth where someone snuck into someone else's DM for them. And I was just like, I'll make sure he gets it. Like, you don't know what you did, but I'll make sure he gets it. But it was funny.
Oh,
but it was good. I guess she saw the video I posted where Grandpa was showing how he was on the starting block for track.
It's dexterity.
His dexterity. People were they were enamored by your physical prowess, Grandpa.
Yeah.
Oh, he put his headphones in. He looked.
I'm gonna try my earphones now.
Uh-oh.
Right.
He said he don't want to
I've
miss
been
nothing.
hearing half.
Uh-oh.
Grandpa will be like, send me that file. Send me that file.
Can you hear?
Can you still hear Pops?
Grandpa done changed it again. We done messed up. We done went
Supposed
backwards.
to leave well enough alone, man.
We done went backwards. Look at him putting the one up. You know what? This fits perfectly with the title of the show, Overcoming Adversity. Anyone people who've been following the show know we have overcame many audio technical difficulties due to Grandpa's headphones, and now he done started the whole process over again.
Yeah, he could not hear. But now now we can't hear him.
Grandpa, can you hear me?
Oh,
Yeah,
We
okay.
can
There
hear
you
you.
go.
We can hear you.
Oh,
Can you hear
okay.
us?
Well, I was trying to
Yeah.
make it louder, but I couldn't. But I wasn't
Okay.
hearing what y'all was saying, so I said I'm gonna kick it up a notch. And
All
instead
right.
of
So
kicking it, it went down a notch because I
man,
got it on the laptop, and I thought my earphone would uh, make it more, make the sound a little bit easier to hear.
okay.
But it
But
didn't
yeah,
work that way.
since we're talking about overcoming adversity, and we didn't joked about Uncle Pooh Bear and Auntie about to take Auntie about to take the shot. Uncle Pooh Bear took the first half of it. Like, what do you guys think about how they've already started to put like the travel visa thing for people flying on planes, but like have they already? I think I've seen a few places are actually starting to require their not require. They are taxing employees who have not taken shots at a few
Oh, I
businesses
saw that.
that I've
Mm.
seen. And I've seen a lot of people be rah rah like if I gotta take this shot, I'm not gonna work here or I'm gonna quit my
Mm-hmm.
job or whatever. Like like do you think there's gonna be a lot of people like, whoa, I didn't think this shit was gonna happen and like back and take the shot? Or I mean like do you like what I guess what I'm really asking is how far are you willing to go for your beliefs? Like if you really believe this is detrimental to you, are you going to be like because both things are detrimental. Losing your job is hella detrimental. And if you think something's going to harm you because of a shot or because of COVID or whatever, or anything, do
Mm-hmm.
you do it? Like, what's more important to you? Like, how do people value things like this?
They going to take the shot.
But I think it's messed up that any
So Uncle
job would
Pooper
try
just
to
said the
require
poors.
it.
Uncle Pooper just said the poors are definitely taking the shot. That's what he just said.
They going to take the shot, man. Folks need them checks, man. With the half the country living paycheck to paycheck, they ain't about to try to not take. Then if you refuse to take the shot, quit the job, you ain't gonna get no unemployment. They already done wrote that in. It's not an unemployment angle that you can play on this. So you ain't gonna get your unemployment. How long is it gonna take to get another job? Ain't nobody going. They're not going for that.
It's just jacked up though, because what other vaccine do companies require that you have to work there? None. What other shot? None.
I know in the healthcare
None.
industry they make you. I know in the healthcare industry they make you take the flu shot every year.
No, they don't. They
Yes, they
don't
do.
make you. They
Yes,
encourage it.
no. And when I was working for the Trinity Healthcare, even though I was a technical employee, they're like, you got to have the flu shot if you work here.
Maybe that
And
was that
I,
whole
I
Let
was
me
hospital.
ask this question though. Uh, Chicken pox and measles and stuff like that. It don't require uh, shots with a needle, do it?
Yes, sir. We took those when we were kids, though.
Yeah,
Took
yeah,
the
but I never
We
took
took
mumps
all
and
a.
of
measles
As
shot.
I recall, we didn't. All they did was scratch you, and I can expose you to the vaccine or whatever they had, but there was no shot. They just because right now I got
that.
a
That's the old
thing.
school, and that's how you could tell somebody's age when they had a little circle on their arm. That's
Right,
how.
right, and that's what I
Yeah,
got from
wait. They had a
what, fifth
medical
grade. I
clause.
mean,
They
not
just
fifth
scratched
grade,
you with
from
something back in
kindergarten.
the
We
day.
was
That's
yeah.
going
crazy.
to school, and they would
What type
scratch your
of
skin, expose it, and then I guess the
what
vaccine
type
was
of
on the needle that they
what type
scratched
of
you
Yep.
with.
werewolf
I don't know exactly
medical
how it
Joshua,
works.
logic is this?
Joshua, look at your mom's arm. She might have it. My mom had
Man,
it.
y'all done threw my mama out there like she old.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm just saying, though, like next time you're around your uncles, like if I don't know if Kenny probably has it. I don't know if Hank has it, but Alice probably has it. Like, because I know my mom had. Because I was like, Mom, what's that on your arm? And she said that was how they used to do it back in the day, and then they upgraded to giving us the shots with the needle.
Shot, right, right.
Yep.
And when they came out with the uh, polio vaccine, they just gave us a cube of sugar cube, with the
Mm.
vaccine in it. I don't know exactly how it worked, but that's how they, instead of having to give you a shot, they just give you a sugar cube, you take it, and that was it.
Man, that sounds way
Mhm.
better than taking a shot. A sugar
Yeah, I
cube.
know it does.
But I think that goes to
But it's
speak
funny
to
because
the.
my brother.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
Well, I think that goes to speak to like the conspiracy theorists that say, they just trying to pump y'all full of X, Y, and Z through this shot. If they can put it in a sugar cube, they can put it in all your food. You can already have whatever it is. That's why I like that whole line of thinking. I'm like, if they wanted to get you, You was God already.
Yeah.
What are you? What like? It ain't like you live in a remote area of the country that it's
And
hard
the
to
sugar
get
cube
to,
doesn't
right?
go.
Like,
It doesn't go directly into the blood. I guess you got to get it in there. So maybe that won't work. Maybe uh, they have to give it a shot because you don't get enough from the sugar cube. Well, some of it,
no,
I'm
I'm
assuming.
just saying if they was giving out a vaccine through a sugar cube, you know, if they wanted to inject you with something, they could just put it in
Oh
the
yeah.
food stream
There's
or in
ways.
the
I mean,
water
you don't
supply.
even
Like, it
gotta
would
do
just be
all
that
that.
simple.
They got have you ever I forgot what show it was, but they're explaining like new age security technology, and they have these little micro robots now that they circulate through, like depending on the levels of clearance or whatever, they circulate through these buildings, and like they stick to your clothes. You don't even know it's on you. They just circulate them through the air system, and like they scan everybody in there who they touch and all types of stuff, man. Like this is some excuse me,
Is
some
that
real dangerous
that nanotechnology stuff?
yeah, but I think it's like called nano paper or something like that because the way how it reacts to like fabrics and things.
Mm.
But it just it gloms onto you, and it's like so it's like I think they use it in a few like high end banks. Like instead of having that dye, you know how they have it in bank bags or whatever that they spray on
Mhm.
people, and like this new stuff is like it just circulates through the air system. And like it's not harmful to you or anything, but it'll stick to your clothes or whatever, and it'll transmit to a certain amount of time. Like they can track you and all types of stuff. Like
Wow.
it, like you said, if they really wanted to, it would be no problem.
No problem.
No
No
problem at
problem.
all. Like there's so many. Like if you don't have, say you don't have a cell phone, if you have a new TV, they got cameras in those.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know. Folks just got to overblow the sense of importance, though. So, you know, like they ain't thinking about you, bro. like for real, this ain't about you.
I wouldn't see like my whole thing is I wouldn't argue the surveillance route because that's the easiest thing. They people telling themselves all the time. You got any
anyway,
type of social media, you telling on yourself.
yeah. And but
But
look, the things that we're talking about, that's the stuff that we know. Now,
yeah,
imagine what the security clearances, you going through them, what they know. Like I mean, come on, man. This is if they wanted to. Which I saw somebody say, you know, basically they trying to kill off a few billion people, and this is how they're going to do it with the vaccine. I'm like, they would just kill a few billion people. Like, have you not noticed what's been
yeah.
going on this planet, bro?
Well,
Like,
I know when I because I've done security clearance backgrounds. I know for a fact it's like no matter how like if you ever talk to people in general, whatever they know about you, they're gonna tell, man. Like we all seen First 48 in them clips. Like you may be the most private person in the world. It'd be that dude sitting in the bus bench who watch you leave your house every day. He's like, yeah, he leaves between 4 and 2, and he does this blah 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 blah. You know that they got people everywhere, man, and it's not even they won't even be agents half the time. They'll just walk up on somebody and ask general questions, and that's it. Like there's not enough. You don't need a lot of really in depth information to get people these days. Like you got an address, you can pull out information up from somebody's address. You got a phone
Yeah.
number, you can pull out information from someone's phone number. Like there's a like shoot, if you can pull the records from a restaurant between a certain time and prove that someone was there, you can use that information to find everything else. Like
Mhm.
unless you really are in the woods under a canopy of trees, which is not surveillance by anything, and you didn't tell
Mhm.
anyone where you went, and it's off 50 miles off the beaten path, and there's no like animals that have been captured and had a transmitting device put into them, which is almost impossible now because they tag everything. There's nothing. There's nothing you really can do for privacy. Like you thinking a squirrel walking by is just mind his own business, but it's got a chip in it because it's tagged.
right? He watching you.
It don't even matter.
Yeah, not to mention they just
I like that.
literally
You know,
got
nephew, when you
satellites.
said,
Go ahead, Chris.
What you say out to
Go
you?
ahead.
yeah, I think it's the delay. Like, I think it's the network. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
we
yeah,
hear
I
you
can hear
fine.
you.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you
Yes.
fine.
Hello?
Yeah, we hear
Oh,
you.
okay. Yeah, I think it's a weird delay. I think it's the network. I might switch networks. But nephew, when you were talking about how people know stuff about you that you don't even know that they know because they're always watching, made me think about when we were living in Texas. We lived in a gated community, a gated apartment complex, Rarely ever saw neighbors. Ever. Didn't see anybody. It was just like, it was always just quiet. Didn't think anything of it. At the time, we only had Jael, and Pooh and Jael were flying to Detroit to come see Pops and Nay. I took them to the airport at like 5 in the morning, dark outside. It was so dark. It was so early. By the time I got back, it was still dark. Got in the house, took a nap. And so it's just me at the house, at the apartment, dropped them off. I left out to go to the library at like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the morning. There was a note on my car that says, "Hey, I think you're pretty. Please call me." I'm thinking, like, who, one, has seen me, and two, it is not a coincidence that they sent it. They put it on my car right after they saw me leave with 3 people and come back by myself. And it scared the crap out of me. I remember going in the house, grabbing my knife and my little pocket knife, and I went straight to the police department and I gave them the note and I showed them my knife and I was like, "Is this legal?" And that's when I learned that as long as your blade is the size of your palm, you can carry it. But she called the number and they didn't pick up. But I was just like, that is creepy. That was the first time I realized how you don't know who's watching you and who's around. Because I never saw the person, I never saw anybody even after that. But they knew that I was there by myself for those couple weeks. Ain't that crazy?
It's
Uh-oh.
not, man. Cause like I've sat here and like so it's my mama has
Wait a
like
minute.
these
I'm gonna
really
switch
old school
network.
my mama girly got these old school versions of like security, like the if you turn the TV on while you're gone, people think somebody not stuff like that. But if there are these people who are professional, like like stare at you and see what you're trying to do, like stalk. There we go, professional stalkers, whatever. You haven't got to be professional, just stalkers. People watching, people checking when you're leaving, checking when you're coming. People are really out there. Like I remember one time, my neighbor across the street, he had a private investigator on him, and the private investigator parked their car like in the what is it called, the funeral home parking lot across street from the house, and they just made it seem like they were going there, for whatever business. And I saw him sat there, and the reason I know he's a private investigator is because my mom actually went to the car and asked what they were doing because my mom was nosy, and he's like, "Oh, I'm a private investigator for this, that, and third reasons." And it was just like it's not even people wearing suits. It's not even people wearing glasses. These are plain clothes, regular people. And if you see
Mm-hmm.
somebody in the area for just sitting chilling for too long, they're watching you. People like it. Like it may not be nefarious. It may not be evil or crazy conspiracy. But people will just watch people. People will sit there and it's just like in movies where they have like a little scene of an old lady talking about, "I see you leave your apartment every day," and then she gives a
Mm-hmm.
speech about what you should be doing about your life. It's because people
Yep.
watch people. That's a natural
Yep.
thing that humans do.
Yep. And
She
I
don't
ain't
even
mad at
gotta.
your mama because one time, this was when my mom was sick. I remember coming home from out of town and there's a car parked in front of the house. And I looked and I'm just like, that's interesting. Next day, same car. So I asked your uncle, I said, "Babe, what's that car that's in front of the house?" I said, "And it's a dude just sitting in the car." He's like, "I don't know. You haven't seen this car that's been sitting in front of the house?" So I called the police. Like, "Can y'all come do a well check?" And it was a PI. I think he was following somebody's wife or something down the block. So they were parked in front of our house and they were watching all the way down the block what was going on. I was like, "Okay, fine." But I'm like, at least tell me something. Knock on my door and say, "Hey, I'm just doing a job." Because if something happened to one of my neighbors and I don't say nothing, it's a weirdo. Like a couple years ago, I kept seeing this car parked in front of our house. I took a picture of the license plate and sent it to all my friends. Like, "Look, I don't know where this car is coming from, whose car it is." Turned out he was creeping too. People like park in front of our house when they creeping. He was creeping with the chick down the street. He would walk down there where all her people left. I called him one day. I was like, okay. But I am that neighbor. I'm the one like, yeah, he would come over at 11:30 and be gone by
But
5.
But
you
see
know,
how see how
today,
easy see how easy it is. Like in your house, depending on how your windows everything set up, people will never know you're looking at them.
No. Oh yeah.
People will never know you're looking at them, and that's just regular people. Now
Mm-hmm.
imagine if you're getting paid, this is your job, and you got the resources and the technology to do it full time. It ain't
Mm-hmm.
nothing, but it ain't nothing to get a mailman's uniform, walk up to each neighbor's house, and then while you put mail up, slide some in somebody's mail slot. Ain't nothing to do that.
The mail
Ain't
being
nothing.
they wear uniforms around here. Y'all wear uniforms. I had to call the post office one time because it was just somebody looked like somebody's uncle walking down the street delivering mail in some doggone khakis and a button-down shirt and a members only jacket. And I was like, why does he have everybody's mail?
He was wearing his colors while delivering mail.
He didn't even, man, he had on a red plaid shirt, some tan khakis, and a members only jacket. I called the post office like, did somebody call off or something? Like, who got the mail walking up and down the street? Yeah.
He was like, "Oh, I gotta work this morning. Damn it, I was out getting breakfast."
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. I mean, it's a lot of stuff, man. Like, if people really like another thing to talk about, not just surveillance, but I mean, let me get back to the original topic. So, like, if y'all were still in corporate America, like working for somebody else full time or whatever, what so like your heart, so like based on how you feel about today, would you stay at that job or would you just take the shot? I mean, you took the shot. Now I'm talking about based on prior, like say 3 months ago.
Nope.
So you just up and quit.
I'd have found something to be. I'd end up where I am right now, running my own business.
Right. I'd have been like, I've been wanting to
I'd be
start.
like, you know what? I had this idea any doggone way. Thank you for pushing me out. There's no way. No.
I would have tried to get fired first, though.
Yeah. Now, is that due? So I'm gonna ask you. Like, do you you don't have to say like a number, but like, did you guys have like a safety net already? Like, savings and things that in case something happened, because that's added to it. Because if you got a safety net, you might be able to play that game for a minute. You know what I mean? Like, I'll figure it out.
Yeah. We got a couple of months. Emergency account, whatever.
Because I think that's involved with it too. Because it's not just this, but some people are just sick and tired of stuff. And you're like, you know what? I got a safety net. I can fall back for a minute.
Yeah, some people got their 401k. They'll rip it out and be like, you know what? But that ain't a lot of people. Most folks want the security of that next check coming.
Yeah.
I think they'll take it.
And and I'm not saying this because I don't fault anybody.
Yeah.
Or like, hey, I gotta keep this job. I got a family, or I got to take care of myself. I don't have any other way because not everybody can be entrepreneurs. Yeah. Everybody, because it's not a knock on anybody. Like, it's just you may not have the patience. You might have all the skill in the world, but just may not want to run a business. Yeah. And you just gotta get it how you live. And for those people, I understand, man. That's life. That's hard. Yeah. Like, life is hard. And I just think it's really interesting because you see on. I'm not going to read it in the comments, but you'll see stuff about like, you got the shot of talking all this stuff, blah blah blah. But these same people, if presented with this same situation, probably will fold real quick because it's like, yeah, I gotta make this money, because it seems that survivability over everything, right? I mean, like it's not pretty, but you gotta do what you gotta do. But is it hard to swallow your pride in the face of adversity, or is it something that you have to try to maintain?
I think. So this is the thing, and this is what I was going to bring Pops into, ask him what he would do. Is it like, for me, in the situation that we're in now, if I'm working in corporate America or any other place, nonprofit, wherever, it's a job that I chose, right? And they say, well, you have to take it. There are options. I feel like there are options. So if I'm not a fan of it, just like how, what was it, years ago, they were talking about
having problems. Look at him, he's doing a little arm dance.
But they were, years ago, they were talking about putting those little trackers in. I wouldn't have done that either. But when I think about when I was in the military, they gave us so many damn shots, I ain't have no choice. I had to take it, and that's my brother always joked, all of us vets, we probably immune to everything because they was shooting us up with stuff that we don't know what the hell we took no doggone way. And they shot us up with a lot of it. But so that's what I was going to ask Pops. So Pops, even though you took the shot, even if you didn't believe in the shot or something like that, if you had a job that said you had to take a shot or something that you were absolutely opposed to, what would you do?
Well, to me, in my position right now, I'm not concerned with long-term effects of the shot. And if I thought it was a survival shot, I'd go on and take it because long-term is not no issue with me.
Well, what if you were 40? What if you were 35, you're working a job, and they say, hey, you got to take this new shot to keep your job, but you don't want the shot at all. at all. You are adamantly against it. Like they said, we're gonna put this tracker in you because like some of those places were talking about putting the trackers in. That's how people would log in to work and all that stuff. If you were against it, what would you do?
I'd probably fall in line with the rest of the people. I mean, a few people are going to object to it. Yeah, a few people are going to say, no, I ain't going to do it. And they're going to go on their own self-esteem or pride, or whatever you want to call it, and say, no, I'm not going to do it. I ain't. You can fire me if you want to, but I ain't doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's only a few of them out there. The majority was kind of walk in line. You gonna fire me? Hey, give me the shot.
So
I gotta
you
eat tomorrow. It ain't that simple.
Yeah.
I think for a job,
that's why I didn't have no problem. They was talking about the long-term effects of the COVID vaccine shot. And I'm saying long-term effects. That's what somebody who might could pass it on to the next generation or something like that. When somebody up to me, counting the days.
We are not counting.
I'm worried about the short-term effect.
Worried about catching COVID.
That's also interesting
because they already said if 65 and over, 97% of people dying was 65 and over. Mm-hmm. So I don't have no decision to make on that. Say, well, I ain't taking it.
Well, that's the other part of that too, because like what you said makes a lot of interest. There's a lot of interesting points to that, because it's either like how do you like, so if say worst case scenario, the shot is actually bad, right? It does something to you. It may not kill you, but it messes with you in some capacity that's negative in your viewpoint. So what would you rather do? You rather take the shot that's presumably the best that they got, or you lose your job, you go through the poverty route, you lose everything, and if you get homeless, the only way they're going to give you benefits is your homeless shelters is by if you get the shot. But that shot is the homeless people shot, because it's going to be different levels to it.
Yeah,
it's more than three. It's more than 3 companies making this shot, y'all.
Yeah,
so you already know the free version of it is going to be very interessante. So now you homeless, now you hungry, you out here in these streets, and you just taking whatever you can get. That shot might be a compound interest shot. Like everything bad you thought it was maximized because you didn't took some time, and now you got to factor in you're probably homeless, you probably aren't getting the nutrition that you need. So all the vitamins stuff out your body that would normally help you protect you from any like outside extra stuff, like say you took the shot anyway while you
ain't gonna be jobless forever. Come on.
No, come on now. I mean, there's people who went from being millionaires to dead broke in the street. You saw what's his name, Michael Beasley or whatever, who was in the NBA, and then he was like they found him on the street like a year or so ago. Like they helped him, nursed him back to health and everything. Like you never know how stuff can turn. Like life can hit you fast. So
I agree with that, but that's drastic.
But that's not drastic, because the companies are showing you right now that they're willing to be like, hey, if you don't got this shot, you ain't working. And it's just a matter of time before everybody's saying the exact same thing. So it's either you really find some off the beaten path job, which we already know how that goes for Black people, finding off the beaten path jobs where there's no documentation or anything, or you could take this shot and you just roll the dice. Like so far we've seen there's a good chance nothing happened to you, right? You just get your protection, that's it. But it's against your will, right? You didn't want to do it. Well, I mean, technically you chose, so it was with your will, but it was heavily coaxed into you doing it. So, like, what do you feel like? What matters to you most? Like, is it the pride of knowing you stood by your convictions, or is it just you surviving?
I mean, if you genuinely concerned about the ill effects of the shot, that is survival. You don't take it.
Well, I'm saying, well, in your case, Uncle Poolberry, you have the means to not have to be in society. You could have just worked and stay at the fortress and just been stacking bread and not have to go out there and have people pay people just deliver you food and stuff. But for some reason, you decide to take it, and Auntie's going to take it tomorrow. So I'm like, where is the change in that? Like what? Like you have concerns, and you guys had the time to just not deal with the world. Like you could probably sit there a few more months, if not a year or so.
That's the problem. We ain't just sitting here no more. That's how this shot came up. Let's be clear. Let's be clear. The shot is on the table because it's somebody is enjoying being around their friends.
Somebody.
Aren't
And
you enjoying around people again?
and somebody is gets a little reckless as these keep flowing. So this is what happened. I'm gonna tell the story. Not this past Saturday, 2 Saturdays ago, our friends had an outdoor anniversary get together. Cool, it's outdoors. Fine. We walk up, mask in hand. Well, my mask is on, right? We're walking up to the house. A couple is leaving out. The guy sees your Uncle Freddie. Next thing you know,
walks up to him, coughs right in his face. Just
right. They dap like chest to chest. And I'm looking, your uncle ain't got his mask on. And I'm stepping back looking like, I've never
ain't been outside. Your auntie ain't been outside in forever.
Hold on. I tell mine and you tell yours. So I'm stepping back. I don't know them. And you dapping them up chest to chest with nothing on your face. So when they walk off, I'm like, where your mask? He got it in his hand. I'm like, put it on. We outside. It don't matter if we outside. COVID can still be transferred outside. So he put his mask on. We go to the backyard. It's a gang of people. Ain't a mask in sight except on our faces. There ain't nothing nowhere. Ain't no sanitizer nowhere, no nothing. So we're standing on the outskirts, talking to people, got our masks on, this and that. And I'm like, I'll be back. Let me go speak to some more people I see on the other side of the yard. I go on the other side of the yard. I look up, your uncle ain't got his mask on no more. I'm like, okay.
Just living.
Man.
It's hard to drink with that mask on.
Exactly. But I see he has his drink. So, like, because at first he will pull it down, take a drink, put it back. Then after a few minutes, the mask just came on. Now, in his credit, he was like standing side by side. They weren't facing each other. They sort of facing this way. Because I'm watching like, okay.
Josh, I'm upwind. I'd have figured this all out.
So I tell him, it's funny because while I'm talking to people, I still got my mask on. And I'm trying to stay away from them. The more I moved, the more they kept coming close to me. And I'm like, So as the night went on, now it's huddles of them. They all like in circles, face to face talking.
Stop it. Man, don't talk that way.
I'm watching like, oh my gosh, like he is out here in these streets with no mask on. So I didn't feel comfortable. So Sunday when I woke up, and it's crazy, and I don't know if it was psychological, but the weather had been changing. But I got up Sunday, my neck was feeling tight, my throat was feeling weird, and I was like, what the heck? And then I just thought about it. I was like, man, because that was the first time we had been around that many people together. He would go hang out with his friends, like, oh, I'm going here. I'm like, okay, cool. But I saw a couple things. One, I saw that, as the night goes on, he's more lax. He called it reckless. I say he's lax. But then what I also saw was that he was just having fun. And so, like I told him, I said, we have two options. Either we need to shut down and stay in the house again, or we need to get this shot. Because if this come in the house, I'm going to be pissed. And so I told him, because he was like, I don't really want the shot. Okay, fine. I don't want it either. But I don't want you to stay in the house because you're having fun. So even if you don't get it, I'm going to get it. So that's why, like, my sister's like, you don't sound happy. I ain't happy. But I'm like, we did stay in the house for over a year. And it's nice to be around people and have their energy again. And unless he's ready to say, you know what, Chris, things are getting crazy. I'm going to stay in the house. I don't want to be that wife in a robe and rollers tapping her foot like you got to come in the house. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm like, even if you don't want to take a shot, I'm going to take it, because I ended up taking my very first COVID test last week. Wasn't happy about that either. But it's like, that's why I say I feel like I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't. So that's how the shot came about, because somebody is having a lot of fun hanging with their friends. And I ain't there to supervise and put his mask on them.
Apparently somebody is ready.
Somebody is ready.
So that's where it comes from. Hence the shot.
Chris just ain't as comfortable around folks in this environment as I am. And I was still careful. I still didn't catch it. I wasn't going to catch it. I don't think it
tell you-
transfers by touch. I don't care what they're talking about.
So if I tell you, so I haven't had a chance to tell you who else has COVID now. Who do I drop groceries off to? Who's very, very comfortable? I mean, careful like me. If you think about it, you know who. She and her son both have it. Her 5-year-old son, they both
I
have
thought
it.
they took it.
Exactly. She has the shot. And
No, she got COVID.
And she still got it and been in the house, ain't been going nowhere except a few places outdoors. Outdoors. I just talked to her today about the story. She just found out she was positive Monday.
Yeah, how bad is it?
Huh?
How bad are they?
So I just dropped her off some aspirin. She said last night her aspirin wore off in the middle of the night, so she woke up super sweaty. She's had a fever, little body aches, and she said if I hadn't taken that shot, it scares me to think how bad it would have been if I didn't have the shot. But then she's of course upset, sort of kicking herself like, how did this happen? Like we take all the precautions we can, like I wipe down, they wipe down everything as much as I do, if not more. And she's like, they can't figure it out, but 2 of them in the house have it. And shoot, I know 2 other mom and sons who got it. And this is just hidden. So they're saying that it's hidden, the Delta variant is hitting the kids the hardest. And of course, when the kids are sick, they're up under their parents, their moms, and that's how the moms are getting it. So it's like just trying to figure it all out. Baby do nothing but go to the, I forgot where she said they had taken him outside, but it's outside stuff. He ain't in school. They ain't got no little friends.
You gotta learn how to make sure you upwind, not downwind.
Yeah.
Upwind Freddy. That's gonna be
what?
I'm going to take this direction.
What you say, Pops?
Here.
Upwind Freddy.
I said I'm going to take this in a different direction for a short time here.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm thinking about prophecy, the mark of the beast. Now we got to the place where the government is saying you take the shot and you don't work, or you take the shot and you don't go to school. I noticed that we had big fires in California, floods over in Germany, and you go into the grocery. I don't know whether you've noticed it now. You go into the grocery store and they don't want cash, only cards. In fact, all your self machines, they say we don't want your money. If you ain't got no credit card, you go to the
Mm-hmm.
But then in biblical prophecy, they were talking in Revelation about you can neither buy nor sell. And if you think about it, if you don't have a credit card, that might be the mark of the beast. If you don't have a credit card, you ain't gonna be able to eat because they ain't gonna take no money. Money is almost gonna be gone.
Well, they
so
said
it's gonna be an electronic system, but you can have some money in your pocket. It's like going to the grocery store. Then we don't want no money. We want a credit card.
That's the hat, Joshua. We need to get that hot hat icon, and when somebody drop a knowledge, you got to put that on their head inside of here. Because Pops needs the hat right now, talking about the conspiracy theories. I love it.
It says
the mark of the beast.
In regards to
after a while, if you go in the grocery store, after a while, the clerks ain't gonna accept your money. Then what you do?
Well, Grandpa,
you better get you a bank account and get you a card because the mark of the beast says you got to have that to eat.
I'm trying to debunk this. So, Grandpa, it says in the Bible, the thing you're referencing, that the mark of the beast is a brand and it's on your forehead. So I don't think credit cards are it.
The mark of the beast don't have to be a brand. That's what you interpret it to be. A mark on your forehead. The mark of the beast could mean you can't buy nor sell without the mark.
Yeah,
I'm thinking in terms you can't buy or sell without the credit card.
Well, John, are you trying to tell me
that debit card or something? But there will be no cash transaction.
Well, I'm saying,
so you trying to say that the Bible is literal, nephew?
Well, I'm saying if we're gonna play this game,
if we gonna play the Bible game, if you gonna tell me that the Bible is literal, then let's go. Are you really gonna say the Bible is literal?
I'm just playing. I'm on the same level what Grandpa's talking about right now. He said the mark of the beast exists, right? So if we're playing by mark of the beast rules, then we got to play by the literal Bible.
Rules when it comes to the Bible.
Huh?
It's either literal or it's not.
I'm just talking to my grandfather right now. So grandpa says the mark of the beast is real, right? So I'm referencing the manual that he is talking about. And in that book,
The manual.
in that book, because the Bible, I believe, is Hebrew or Latin. The word Bible means book or the book. So based on that, it's saying that the mark of the beast is a brand I think it's either on your arm or your forehead, neither of which is your credit card. Because it says if we're taking in a literal sense,
Well,
that
the
it's a
credit card
brand.
is an extension of your arm when you put it into the machine.
But you don't pay for it by slapping on your forehead and
But
saying
they are putting it on there where that's why I said we talked about the chip where they would put the chip in your arm that
right.
all of your banking information, all of your medical information, all of that good stuff on
So
your
if you
arm.
don't have the mark, you ain't gonna be able to eat or buy nothing,
Mm-hmm.
You say, well, I got a pocket full of money. You're gonna say, well, burn it.
money could be the market. Any form of trade where you can't exchange goods for some. If I got if I got 5 chickens and I want to trade it for your ox and you want 10 chickens, but instead I use paper money, and now everyone only uses paper money, that's the mark of the beast. And then they moved it to credit, and now you can't do anything with paper money, and it's credit. And then they're gonna move it to crypto because you can't do anything with credit, and it's gonna be crypto. And then they're gonna do whatever. And unless and until
Right, it's gonna all be in the phone.
yeah, unless and until I actually see people start getting branded with with old Latin symbols for 666 or 616 or whatever mark the beast number is, depending on your denomination. Because in Hebrew it's 616, and the denominational Christian is 666. So it really all depends on your translation. But it's a mark that's either on your forearm, it's on your arm, or on your forehead.
Well, let's look at it like for the last
See,
couple
Ashley
of
done
years.
came out. She done read the Bible. She didn't say it's on your right hand.
Look at this. The last couple of years,
Right hand or forehead.
I've had no money in my pocket hardly. If I want a candy bar, I stick a thing in there. That's the mark of the beast. If I want some groceries, I put it in the thing. I don't even need no money. The only time I need some, and I don't need it for that. But I play the numbers. I mean, it's lottery. That's why I use money. But it's gonna come along. I'm gonna be in trouble because I'm gonna start charging it on my charge.
Yeah, you're gonna get the lottery app right now. You don't even gotta go to the store.
So what if I pay with my left? What if I put my credit card in my left hand and pay with my left hand? If the mark's supposed to be in the right hand,
I typically use it with my left hand, so I don't,
So we still go back to the Bible being literal.
The argument is based on
the Bible literal.
Dad say yeah.
Grandpa said it's 100% legit. So based on that, it's got to be a mark on your right hand.
I didn't say 100% legit. I said it was literal.
The Bible is
100%.
Oh my God.
The Bible say people 6,000 years old. The Bible don't mention dinosaurs.
No, the Bible talking about Adam and Eve, though. See, here's something here, and I thought quite a bit about it. Pompeii, you've heard of the city of Pompeii, and it was destroyed by an earthquake, right? I think it's been about 40 years ago. They found Pompeii, and they dug it up and they found it was buried from just like the earthquake was concerned, So I'm thinking we got 8 billion people on I was telling Josh, 8 billion people on this planet, 8 billion different stories. And telling how many civilizations is buried up on our feet, Maybe there might have been somebody who got to the point where they had the credit card, Now it's buried 6,000 years under in the dirt,
It's a 6,000-year-old credit card somewhere in
there. Could be some computers down there,
So, Grandpa, you're saying
I'm here for it.
But all I'm saying is this: based on that, Uncle Pooh Bear's immune. He only pays with his left hand. You can't have the mark if you pay with your left hand.
Oh my
God! from now on, just because of that, I want to go pay stuff with my left hand, just so I'm immune based on that logic.
I didn't even think about that.
All I can say is something is happening, and we missing it. We tied up now with the COVID-19, and there's a whole lot of things which is going to be way much more serious than that COVID-19 that we missing out on. Because I mean these fires and floods and all this stuff, and all over the world, you know. So maybe this civilization we ain't got to worry about it.
I mean, the fire is a real cause and effect.
There ain't gonna be no civilization there. We start all over again with another Adam and Eve story.
Which is foolish too, but I digress.
Are you saying Grandpa's theory about the credit card market?
Don't make me choke. Don't make me spit out my
foolish. You saying that Grandpa's theory that 6,000-year-old credit cards are buried somewhere? And someone's interest rate is going through the roof because they didn't pay off they did?
The credit card is stuck in the computer. It's stuck in the computer that's buried down there.
You mean to tell me?
Oh my goodness.
Never know, man. If they were talking, I was seeing all of them, they were talking about 5G. Now they say, oh, that's nothing, because wait till 6G come out. So but 6G might be the market. Maybe it's time for the destruction of this planet, this 6G technology, sixth generation, you know. Saying so fast that you can't even see or understand it, you know. All I know is that we ain't the first. How many years man been on Earth, fool? Ready?
I mean, I don't know. At least couple of 100,000.
Okay, then we can just scoot out that 6,000, can't we?
I mean, I do.
Yeah, well, yeah. There was
we got monuments standing older than that. You know, ain't no need. To discuss that is almost real.
Excuse me. But yeah, when Pop talks about money, though, I thought about that. I went to the store today, and I actually got cash back. Just because I like to have some cash, because you just never know when the banking system might go down or whatever.
Right.
Just touching the cash, I was like, ew. But that's why, like, when COVID first started last year, they weren't taking cash. Like, you only could play, because cash, we've known cash is disgusting forever. Yeah. Cash is disgusting. So when I get my cash, I spray it down. I Lysol it, sanitize it, because it's nasty.
Hey, give me all that cash.
I don't put mine down. I put it in the lottery machine. Wipe my hands off.
I just want money to know I still respect it.
Look at lottery.
Come on over here. I'll take care of it.
One of the places where they don't give a damn. You ain't paying with no card with lottery. They want cash only. You
can buy lottery cards now.
Since when?
Oh, you didn't know that? Like, the lottery?
I bought a lottery ticket a little while
ago. Wait a minute, Crystal. You haven't seen them machines?
I thought you had to put cash in there.
Wait a minute. Time out.
No, they tell you they say
I'm not talking about scratch off.
This is why they're making so much money. They don't give no cash, so you can get credit for or else you go to the people in the store, and they will give you the cash. But you can pay the lottery, you can pay the numbers, you can play for next week. Everything there, and don't even have no cash. Don't need
Hold
no
on a
cash.
second, Grandpa, Auntie, did you see what just happened here?
What?
Grandpa can believe in 6,000-year-old credit cards, but he called you a fool for not knowing you could buy lottery tickets.
Yeah, they take
he talking about my whole name. He said it with every syllable. Hold on, Crystal. I didn't know that. Like,
you can buy lottery tickets with a card.
Them machines, something else, you know.
Grandpa, where have you been at? You got the market.
You want the morning or do you want the evening number? You know.
I didn't know that, because whenever I would see people at the gas station, I just think about at the gas station, whenever I would see people buying, they would buy the gas and snacks and all that stuff with the cards. But then whenever it came down to the lottery, it seemed like they were asking them for cash.
But they have this big.
I was like, oh,
this machine I'm talking about is like a
vending machine.
Huh?
Like a vending machine. Like I've seen the scratch
offs.
Like that.
Just like a carbonated machine, you know, like the Pepsi Cola machine. It's that big.
Yeah, I've seen those.
In all of the drugstores, like CVS, you just walk in there. You don't have to go to them to check your ticket or nothing. Even though they have it in there, you can go to the machine. You can check your number. The only thing about the machine is they don't give no cash. And so what you do, they say, do you want to play it to your credit? You say, yeah. So they add that. So that means you can play more, you know, and lose all of what you're gonna get.
Well, no, you can print that card out and give it to the cash register.
Yeah, you got to take it to the lady, to the clerk. But the machine ain't giving no money. And it'll tell you right off the bat, you will not get no money. So you can either add on to the credit and play more, or go over to the clerk, and she will cash it out for you.
I just saw what time it is. Let me let's do our final thoughts. Uncle Pooh Bear, you go first. What'd you learn today? Let's say you go first, Uncle Pooh. What's your final thought? What you learned today?
I learned that you better pay for your credit card stuff using your left hand.
What about you, Wati? What's your final thought today?
I learned that they were using credit cards 6,000 years ago.
What about you, Grandpa? What's your final thought today?
My final thought is keep your eye on the mark of the beast.
Right here in the forehead.
Without that mark, you ain't gonna either buy nor sell.
I learned I learned a lot today. I did learn about it. You know what? I learned. Well, I shouldn't say learn. My final thought is, you got to do. I learned that people sometimes value their pride over other things, but at the same time, when the chips are down, you got to do whatever you got to do, and it's like it's just really just up to you how you want to live. I mean, I see no problem with however people want to do this COVID thing at this point, as long as you're not just being some weirdo about it, and just making up whatever. Do actual stuff. Get doctors' opinions of people you trust. We didn't said this stuff before, but ultimately I learned today that Grandpa's really serious about this Mark of the Beast stuff. So I'm probably going to have to go to the store for him more often because I got to pay on my left hand because you never know. And you know what? Actually, no, I did learn something. I didn't know you can buy lottery tickets without a card.
Wow,
it's cash only. So remember that, y'all. You can
show,
in fact
you
gamble.
know how much I buy lottery tickets.
Yeah, you don't need no money.
Tickets. You can in
you
fact
have to do is put your hand up.
You can buy lottery tickets as long as you have your right hand on your forehead and you pay with your left hand. You can buy lottery tickets with the card.
Got it.
And if it's outside, make sure you upwind.
Oh yeah, make sure you upwind and you're staying parallel to the person you're buying the ticket from. There's a lot of rules now in post-COVID world.
We ain't post-COVID. This COVID world. We're not post-COVID.
Oh, it's still COVID world. You're right, man. It's been, it's gonna be 2 years since it started soon.
Yep.
Like it's wild, but we'll see you guys next week. We might have a guest. I don't know. We'll see. But see you guys. Thanks, Grandpa, Auntie, and Uncle for again being great members of the show. Grandpa, you waving with your beast hand. You gotta wave with the other hand.
Oh, I still did this?
Yeah. You're waving with your beast hand.
Now I want him to wave with the beast hands. I want to see if he got the mark or not. I need to see it. I need to do all this.
I mean,
that's how you should wave.
You know what's crazy? We always shake hands with the right hand for the most part. You don't shake hands with your left.
All right. That's supposed to go right-handed.
That's how you transmit the mark.
Oh my God. Really? Really?
See you. I love you guys.
Love you too, babe.